What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, and no hate. So, I just put out a three-part series called Boxing versus YouTube Fighters. It's all a business. Now, I say things based on what I study, what I see, and my understanding of what's going on. So, I don't say things just to say it. And basically, I want you guys to hear something that just solidifies the whole point of the videos. And this is John Fury and his son, Tommy Fury after their fight Saturday. And check out what he had to say.
Tommy, first of all, congratulations on your first real fight. What did it feel like to you?
Yeah, listen, it was a good fight. All respect to him. He done Scotland proud and he's a good game kid. I think people just need to take the time with me. I've had 10 amateur fights when I was 15. Like I keep saying, this is not a sprint, a marathon. I'm learning every time. I've learned more in them 4 rounds than I have the whole rest of my 5 fights.
You learned more in the first 3 minutes than you have in your other fights. One round, and 2 rounds. In that first round, he clipped you a couple of times.
Yeah.
You stayed calm. And in the second round, I'm going to say this, Tom, you boxed like a seasoned veteran. It was a terrific second round.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to get better with every time. And like I said before in the press conference, there will be a bit of that where I can look and it will be improvements. Listen, I'm not nowhere Sugar Ray Leonard, I'm not claiming to be. I'm Tommy Fury and I'm trying to do the best I can do. This is a marathon. I'm going to take my time and go from the apprenticeship very properly.
John, let me bring you in. The first round was a real fight. He showed some skill and he showed some brain, and I like that.
Yeah, well, in the first round, it took him a bit of time to settle because he's a novice, he's a ranked novice. But when he settled into it, he's getting better. You know, and at the end of the day, you've got to have these kind of fights to learn from them. You're not going to learn from knocking people over. The kid come to fight, he's learned more in that fight than all the rest of them. I'm more than happy with it. He kept his composure. He was trying uppercuts, he was trying different things. But the kid come to fight and he was a proud lad. But I'm more than happy. I'm more happy with his performance than he's done.
Good. And with you, Tom, you don't look too happy. You should smile. Really, that was a terrific performance.
Yeah.
And now we go forward. Now we go forward to 8 rounders, and we move on. The next year, it starts to get interesting for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, we're not here to do it in a day. Every fight we're learning. And that's a good game kid that I fought there. That's the first couple of punches I've took while being a pro. So that fight was a huge learning stuff for me, and I know I'll benefit from that. So the next fight you'll see will be even better again.
Now, you spent some time in America with your big brother, training in Miami, just picking up things. How important is that for you, just to be around him and just to take in the knowledge he gives you?
Everything, absolutely everything. You can see in my performances, and more than anything, you can see the crowd, everything. It's all part of the experience. Getting used to the crowd, getting used to walking down that ramp. The crowd was very, very loud tonight. I feel like I coped with that well. I kept my head switched on, and that's plus points in itself to take forward.
John, I'm going to ask you about the YouTuber, Jake Paul. I'm going to ask you about him, then I'm going to ask Tommy. I'm going to make a statement. I think Jake Paul is a really good novice.
Well, listen, good on Jake Paul doing what he's doing. At the end of the day, good luck to the kid. He's game enough to get in the ring. Any kind of man that gets in there is a game man. But listen, it's a big difference coming from no crowd to a big crowd. It's the first night out from a very noisy. It's brand new again for him. But Jake Paul, we'll have you next, mate. If you think he's no good, we'll take Jake Paul next.
And now you, Tommy.
Tyson undercard, 24th of July, Jake Paul.
That makes sense to me, Jake. And what about you, Tommy? What do you think about
I'm
Jake
ready,
Paul?
whenever. Come and get...
All right, so Tommy Fury was successful in his fight. And I'm not caught up into, the opinion. Everybody has their opinion. A lot of you had people saying that Tommy Fury did good. He's a novice fighter. You had people calling him a bum, he's trash. You had people comparing him to his big brother. All that stuff is really, I'm not focused on. I really don't care about that. It would be really stupid to compare him to Tyson Fury, at all, first off. I'm not even here to talk about the fight he just had, okay? The interviewer asked, John Fury about Jake Paul, okay? What was I talking about in this 3-part series the other day? You have people who are able to make certain events happen because their name is money. They're drawing crowds. They're getting big numbers on social media, pay-per-view numbers, whatever they're a part of. Logan and Jake Paul Okay, these guys are businessmen. And I don't think people understand that. They get caught up into all the bravado, all the hype, all the, the stupid antics that they do to get an event going, the things that they say and all of that. But they're businessmen. They're not, notice something about these guys. They're not calling out guys their size physically. They're not calling out current guys that is on top. No, they don't want to go in there and get their brains beat out. No, they're targeting retired guys, much smaller guys. This is what they're doing. They're not calling out guys, or they're calling out guys they feel is washed up. Tyrone Woodley lost his last 4 fights. I didn't watch his last 4 fights. I saw clips, but I know he lost 4 in a row, and I don't know how bad he looked. I saw, like I said, saw not even the full highlights of his fight, just clips of like the card, and I didn't really see because I know he lost. So they see something in Tyrone Woodley that, okay, he has a respected name, but he's not the same fighter. So they're not going after a guy that's on top. No. And they're not fighting Tyrone Woodley in a UFC match. They're fighting him in a boxing match. Okay, so Tyrone Woodley going into boxing, I don't know how much boxing skill Tyrone Woodley had. You understand what I'm saying? So these guys are doing this strategically. They're going after Floyd because, well, what bigger name than Floyd? Floyd is 43, retired, doing exhibitions only. Logan Paul is 189 pounds right now. Floyd is 155. The heaviest Floyd's ever been in the ring. And he's still a much smaller guy in height and physically in size. But with Floyd, they're not so much worried about getting hurt. They're not calling out guys their size. They're businessmen. Now you hear this guy bring up Jake Paul's name. John Fury is saying, if you think he's no good, talking about his son Tommy, we'll take Jake Paul next. Yes, and this and that. Yeah, he's hyping it up. He's trying to make some money for his son. That's what he's doing. This is business. I've been telling you guys. Look, if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford right now was in negotiations, okay, nothing's final, nothing's in ink, so nobody's going to get sued if they walk away, but they're talking about it. And let's just say Errol Spence cut his $10 million. Terrence Crawford cut his $10 million. Okay? It's $5 million. I'm just saying because, one is unified champion, the other's not. But let's just say how it goes. Or let's either one of them who had the lion's share to split. Do you think if either one of them had a contract sent to them for $35 million versus your $10 million, do you not realize they're going to say, man, you know what, fuck this? Especially in a fight that they should win against a Jake or a Logan Paul. Do you think that these guys are not going to postpone their fight and say, man, you know what the hell with this? They'll even strategize. You know what? Listen, our fight, I just got offered $35 million to fight this guy, man. I'm taking that 35. Why don't you show up at the fight? You come ringside at the end of the fight, because I'm going to beat this motherfucker. At the end of the fight, we call each other out. We get in the ring or however, whatever. And then now more eyes are on us. People who normally wouldn't watch, like one of us or both or however, now they're going to, we got a new audience of people watching us because I'm going to destroy their boy, Jake Paul or Logan or whatever. And then me and you right now. Now, after that, the talks about us start up again, whatever. This is a business. For everybody that says things like, oh, you got to fight for the glory, man. Listen, glory don't pay your fucking bills. It don't feed your fucking family. I agree. Fight with dignity and pride. Fight the best fighters. But this is still a business move. You don't turn down $35 million, man. Look, it's easy to say that when you're not in that situation. Listen, we come from a different generation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything that we did was smarter. Okay? I've heard a lot of older guys always heard that saying, if I knew then what I know now, I would have did things different. Okay? You got people who would like put it to you like this, right? If you got paid to do physical work all day, and on this job over here, you're just laid back chilling, but you getting the same pay. Yet this job over here is beating your body up. So your machismo, your ego is going to make you go for this job. And then all of a sudden one day you have no more feeling in your fingertips. Your arms are like, your elbows are like jelly. Your knees are no good. Your back is all shot. Yet this person over here made the same money you made and they get around just fine. Yet you in and out of rehab. Your body's all broken up. Now you look back and go, damn, you know what? I should have took that other job, man. This job took its toll on me. It's no different for boxers, man. When you get a certain age and you start to realize that your body's breaking down, you know, you might not make it known to the public, but you start to understand as well, like your name still holds a lot of weight. Now you're looking at an exit strategy. People going to say you ducked. Oh, he didn't fight him. He didn't do. Yeah, they're going to say that. They're going to overlook your whole career and base your whole career on your last 3 or 4 decisions or something as an opponent when it was an exit strategy for you. Whether it was about trying to keep your O, whether it was about just, I want to secure this money, because you can't secure that kind of money if you're losing fights, right? People don't understand it's a business. You cannot change what's meant to be just because you want to be stubborn or you think you fighting for the fans. You know, Caleb Plant said something that made a whole lot of sense. And I've been saying this kind of stuff since I started this channel. It's like, you know, everybody's talking all this trash about, you know, Billy Joe Saunders quitting in the fight, right? And talking about, you know, how you should go out on your shield. So you're suggesting that someone goes out and get brain dead or whatever. And of course they say, no, that's not what I'm saying. But I mean, you know, you're a fighter. You're supposed to this and this. Like he said, when is the last time any of these fans that's talking checked on Gerald McClellan? You know what I'm saying? And he's right. You guys are not going to go out there and make sure these people are okay. You're not going to go take your hard-earned money and send checks or something to help their family. You're not going to do that. No, you're just going to sit back and criticize and talk. I'm not at all saying, oh, no, you shouldn't fight the top guy. This is Aries you're talking to. You know better than that. I would never, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, you should fight the top guys. What I'm saying, though, is when you are in a position to maximize your dollars, and you don't do that because you're worried about a few people giving you thumbs down or booing, man, fuck them people. Those same people are going to be cheering, sitting on their couch with their pot bellies, calling somebody else the new you, talking about how this person would fuck you up and how you was, or whatever it is they're going to be doing. You're no longer a factor, man. So, you know, when you see situations like this, yeah, people are trying to maximize their dollars, man. What do you think John Fury is hollering right now? Well, fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul is look, Tommy's a novice and Jake Paul's a novice. Okay? Nobody in the boxing community really respects Jake Paul or Logan Paul boxing skills. Okay? But their name bring more eyes to whatever the event is than actual boxers do. And this is the era we're in. Okay? For you guys to look at something, okay, logically, I want you to understand this, okay? There was a time when, let's take hip hop music, for example. Rappers wanted to be the best rappers. They wanted that respect. I'm the best, most skilled rapper out here. I could out-rhyme anybody. The music itself at the time was all about what? The DJ, the party vibe, right? So the rappers wasn't trying to be trappers and ballers, shot callers. That's not what they was trying to be. It was a different mindset. Okay? Rappers had metaphors. They had bars. You know, double, triple entendres, all this kind of shit. The speed rhyme and I mean, everything. It had science in the rhymes, mathematics in the rhymes. They did and said things that people, a lot of times you have to go, oh, wait, what did he say? Rewind that. Oh, damn, I get it. That was deep. You understand what I'm saying? If you came from that era, you've heard, and you know, the best lyrics, the best skills, people that could say things and have you like, yo, rewind that. Yo, did you hear what he just, right? You don't get that now. You don't get that now. These people, these kids now, this is their era. They're going to see it different. 3/4 of water makes 7 seas. A third of the land at 360 degrees. I circulate and remain to rotate 7 days a week at a quick or slow rate. What did I just say? All right? You got to think about that. Nowadays, see, that wouldn't be a hot line to a lot of these young kids. They'd be like, what is he talking about? What? Same way how we'll listen to them like, what? Not that you don't get it. It just sounds like a 5-year-old could write it. What's a hot line nowadays? My wrist stay lit. Bitches on my dick. Come take a sip. My whip is sick. I go down the street. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I even fuck bitches flying on their broom. Chippity bippity boom. Sippity sippity hoo. Bippity bippity sippity bippity bippity hippity hoo. And that's hot. That's the kind of shit that they're saying. And then he does little weird dances and shit, man. And then they'll tell you that that shit lit, yo, that's lit. And you're like, you actually like that shit? It's not our era. Big John is not from this era, you know, in terms of being new to things, age-wise. But you have to adjust into it and adapt. That's just life. Everything changes. So when you are hearing John Fury calling out Jake Paul, do you not understand the 3 videos I just put out? This is what I'm telling you guys. It's a business. Okay? And just like hip hop, it didn't have a machine behind it in the beginning of it. For a long time. Once hip hop became a mainstream thing, think about something. Okay? And for those who know who I'm talking about and remember, if you had, even though Run DMC was considered crossover, yet still street, but they had a lot of commercial success because they started with rock music. It's not like they was doing, you know, hip hop has no original form of music. So it's not like you can take any sound and say, oh, that's hip hop. No, they rhymed to whatever, whether it was jazz, R&B, rock, or whatever. What I'm saying, they incorporated rock from the very, very, very beginning. So it's not like it's something that they didn't have any rock music. Then they tried to do rock music to try to sell more records and see what happened. It was from the genesis of their career. But the point, what I'm saying is, they had a lot of songs that was about what's going on in the world, a lot of political stuff, conscious stuff. But because of their commercial success, Walk This Way, It's Tricky, stuff like that, people started to overlook that street type shit that they was doing because they was more focused on what made their careers peak. Right? Okay. But it was always about being the best rappers, about giving good music. Once you had a machine, which, let's be real, Run DMC changed a lot about the music, okay? Before then, people was wearing costumes and had a particular sound that was just, everybody sounded the same, and then they changed it. You know, and then you had different people that came in after them that, you know, took it to another level with their sounds being different. But what I'm saying is, if you look at all that, once hip hop, I'm not talking about just certain artists had a machine behind them, like Def Jam being the biggest label at the time. I'm talking about hip hop as a genre. When now you got a machine behind it, these rappers are not caring about being the best MC anymore, or just putting out good music with substance that people can embrace and respect. They just about their money, bragging rights about I'm this, I'm that. I got more money than you, nigga. You broke, I'm paid. I get more hoes than you. This is all it's really about. Everybody hating on me, yo, I drink to hide the pain and all that. I mean, it's the same message over and over. But that's what it is. It's all about this. They don't care about rhyme skills. I remember hearing several rappers asked in the back in the day, asked about, do you feel like as an artist that it's your job to put conscious music out? To be able to say things that, you know, people can embrace and to raise their minds up. You had a lot of artists back in the day that would say, oh yeah, that have, yeah, of course, yeah, we you know, we do this, we do that, or even rappers who were known to make a lot of street stuff, You know, and they're like, yeah, man, you know, through our music, we are trying to do that, but we just do it in a different way. We just talk about what we see. We're not glorifying it, even though that's the way it came off, right? I've heard many artists ask that same question nowadays, and they're like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, we ain't got no, like, I make what I want to make, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about bitches and hoes, money, getting high, getting drunk, fucking niggas up, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that. And they all got country accents, even though they all was born and raised in New York or New Jersey or some shit like that. We're in the East, but they all sound like they're from the South, right? What I'm saying, it's a different mindset. So, for somebody who come from that era where people did have a conscious responsibility, you know, they feel like they did, versus people saying, nah, you're not going to be able to relate to that because they see things in a way where you're about substance, you know, and raising your mind. They're not. It's the same thing. You know, every boxer didn't know people. This is a fallacy. Let me correct this. Okay. And we can sit here and go through bunch of videos and pull up proof and show like where there's no everybody fought everybody. I always hear that everybody fought everybody back in the no bullshit. No, they didn't. It may have been easier to make certain fights, a majority of the big fights back in the day than it is now. Okay. But no, everybody didn't fight everybody. And I've done this before where I sat down and broke down different eras and look at how this guy didn't fight him. He never fought him. He never fought him. And, oh, damn, I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? And when people are talking about everybody fought everybody, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Like I said, it was easier to make fights. Some fights back, you know, most of the fights back in the day than it is now. But no, everybody didn't fight everybody. And not to mention, I would say 90-something% of them fighters ended up broke anyway. You know, for you guys who saw Michael Moore's interview last year when he was talking about Tyson, well, it wasn't about Deontay Wilder. They brought Deontay Wilder's name in it. That's the one when he told him, you need to learn how to box, homie. Real talk. Michael Moore broke down how you guys hear a figure about how much money the fight itself is going to generate. You don't realize we don't take the lion's share of that money. You know, we end up broke. He said Floyd was smart because Floyd became his own boss. And people crucify Floyd for that. And they're like, oh man, this guy's ruining the sport. No, you don't ruin the sport. If somebody's considered a ducker or whatever, you're not going to ruin shit for me. Because while you're doing your thing, I'm in my lane doing my thing. And if I got to cross over to somebody else's lane, I'm going to do it openly. So Floyd didn't destroy anything. Floyd did what was best for Floyd. Floyd fought, beat 23 put like this, people who was world champions, 23 different people who was a world champion, Floyd beat them. And he sit and try to piss on his career. Oh, he ducked this guy. No. Like I said, if right now, if whoever was, you know, Terrence Crawford and Spence was going to fight right now, and they got an offer that was going to double or triple what they was making, they'd be stupid to not take that money and then come back and hook up on another time. I'm going to go get this 35, then me and you going to do it. We're going to try to get our numbers up. So now, if I'm getting 35 to fight this guy, we two world-class fighters, we need to make this happen. You going to show up, we going to face off in the ring or however, whatever. No, we going to up that. I'm about to up this worth. So, you know what? And guess what? The person who's doing that going to get the lion's share between the two unless they just decide 50-50. But if they was going to give us 10 and everybody know I just made 35, my stock going up. You going to come out, we going to have our words and we going to get this done. So I'm going to try to get it where the next time when we fight, we going to try to get I'm going to get 35. I'm going to try to get you at least 15 or however it's going to go, whatever. We're going to try to get the numbers up. Bottom line, it's business. This is a business, man. A lot of y'all, when y'all talk, it's like you think somebody just, hey, yeah, what you doing Saturday? Nothing. Let's fight. All right, cool, man. Let's call Al Heyman. Let's call Eddie Hearn. All right, cool. I'm going to see you. You training already? Yeah, all right, good. Let's go. See, it's easy to make a fight happen. No, it's a lot that goes on. And people got to want your fight. They got to want your fight. Didn't you hear Floyd Mayweather say when they first offered the deal about fighting Jake Paul, how certain venues didn't want it? They didn't want the fight. I mean, when it got to Miami, the venue in Miami, was like, oh, sure, we love to have a fight. You got to understand. Now, those same people that said no, they didn't want the fight, I guarantee you, if this is a successful card, and let's just say the next time something comes around, there's a rematch or something, and the numbers are even way bigger, them same people gonna be like, yeah, man, you can have a fight here. See, it's business, man. Nobody's gonna turn down their money. And see, the problem with boxing, just like anything that has a machine behind it, okay? If your mindset is, I want to be the greatest fighter of all time, it's going to be hard for anybody to become the new greatest fighter of all time, because there's always going to be people from other generations that think, no, that guy's better or that, whatever. If you feel you're the greatest of all time, then you're the greatest of all time. Because nobody can come and tell me somebody else is better than me. It's as simple as that. You can tell me, you can think what you want, but fuck you and fuck your opinion. So all that's just irrelevant. But if that's your goal, and you got people going, so what you gonna do? You gonna go in here and fight this guy? Huh? Then you beat him, then what? This guy can fight, but he's not a draw. You got a guy over here, got a country behind him. You're gonna make double, triple fighting this guy, but you wanna fight him. Should you lose, that money's off the table. Now you go, you fight that guy, bam. Whether people want to see you win or lose, you just made 35 million versus you was about to get 5 or 10, right? Now all of a sudden your stock goes up. This guy's still over, hey, what about me? But all of a sudden now you get another challenge, and it's like, well, yo, I think we need to fight over here. They haven't had a boxing event over here since 20 years. And this is like a town where they come out for big events. Boom, you sell that arena out. Now you got more eyes on you. You just equal what you made. So that's another 35 million. Now all of a sudden, that guy that you want that they're talking about, he's still calling your name out, but he's still not a draw. He needs you. He needs you. So you understand you in a good position. You're in the driver's seat. You're not avoiding him, but you're just maximizing your dollars. Now all of a sudden, here comes another challenger. Well, this guy has a fight coming up now. You don't want to wait, and that's understandable. So you take a lesser fighter. And everybody's saying you're a ducker, you're this, you're that, right? Now you fight this guy and you beat him. Now they're looking for somebody else that can beat you. So what you're juggling is, do I try to please everybody or do I fight for me? Now they don't have to watch, but I'm winning. Okay? I'm bringing eyes to the sport, and I'm bringing overall, attention and interest in everything, whether they want to see me win or lose. You got to understand, it's a business. It's not, it doesn't work that way, man. You could take football players that make great plays, right? This guy getting all these sacks, these guys getting all these tackles and causing, they're opening holes for their running backs to get good yardage. They're causing their defense to be able to get holes and sack the quarterbacks and all that. And those players are the least known. Everybody knows the quarterback, the running back, or the best wide receiver. The tight ends are known. Who cares about the field goal kicker? Who cares about the punter? Who cares about that? It's like people that make you look good get less glory. So are you doing it for just the glory, or are you doing it because it's your job? You got to have the balance. I want to be great, and I also want to be rich. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do for it. I didn't do this so I can do it for a few years, and then after I retire, I'll become an accountant. So no. I want to live my best life. This is what I'm doing. I'm giving you my blood, sweat, and tears. The least you can do is let me do that and not try to direct the way I do it. Now, if a guy's just ducking and he's fighting bullshit fighters, at some point, his star is not going to shine. And a lot of times people exaggerate what a person's motive is. They don't understand. This is boxing. It's a business. This is why this guy's calling out Jake Paul. This is why John Fury called out Jake Paul. Because Jake Paul is going to bring more interest, more eyes to him fighting Tommy than anybody current right now in boxing that Tommy Fury could fight. Tommy Fury doesn't need to step up in competition. He needed to fight someone on his level. So Jake Paul is going to bring attention. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.